Good evening, this is the Oscar expert here with Brother Bro. We are finally going to be reviewing Marriage Story, which we saw at the New York Film Festival. It's coming out in a month. Get your excited hats on for this one.
It's the highest rated movie on Metacritic this year, Cole. And it was the runner-up at Toronto. So this is a major fucking Oscar contender. We already know this.
Big. Could win Best Picture, in fact.
Oh, wow. Let's not jump the gun there, Cole.
Let's
we'll
get to that.
First. It's obvious that Noah Baumbach has been through a divorce because the movie feels so personal. It feels like this is his expression of all the frustrations and even the positive things that can come out of a divorce. The way that it feels to move on from someone who you've shared a giant portion of your life with. All those things just packed into a movie, directed in the absolute best way. I mean, the screenplay in this movie is absolutely ridiculously well written. Just line after line, tone after tone of comedy mixing into a scene where you wouldn't think it would belong, but it works. The way that you're watching a scene and it goes into a different direction, but it feels really natural. The realism of all the dialogue in the movie is incredible, and you can tell it's not realistic because they improvised. It's all very much as the script has it.
Let's not forget the incredible character building. Even the side characters. There are 3 lawyers in this movie, and you'd think, oh, lawyers, they're boring characters. Nope, none of them are boring characters. And actually, it has been confirmed when you hear Baumbach talk about the movie that everything about it is intricately choreographed. Camera movements,
there's a lot blocking, that went into making it look so natural.
Right, there's a lot to appreciate about every moment of this movie. Baumbach's attention to detail is unprecedented. He's so great at pinpointing little things that happen in everyday life all the time that don't make it into movies. But in this movie, these little things make it into the movie, and then the movie makes a point about their existence there. It also serves, as you were saying, he juggles the tone a lot by throwing things at a scene that are unexpected.
A similar way, I think, to life. Nothing goes the way these characters plan it, which is really poignant in the movie. It's almost a movie I'd recommend to, anybody. Because we all, struggle to understand divorce, and, this is, the movie to tackle that subject. And, I don't even think there'll be a movie ever that will get so close to, the heart of what that is.
Kramer vs. Kramer, Marriage Story. Marriage Story has topped Kramer vs. Kramer, fellas.
It's so relatable. I don't think anybody would have a hard time, immediately connecting with the movie. It's absolutely harrowing, which is why the comedy is important, because it's extremely stressful at times. There's such a giant burden with getting divorced that, as much as it sounds unpleasant, I would not have guessed until I saw this movie.
Or half of married couples get divorced, and the process, I was shocked. I didn't know any of this, and yet this is so common. The incredible performances and the camera work, the editing is just keeping you right there the entire movie, all 2 hours and 20 minutes.
The opening 5-10 minutes or so of this movie is amazing. It's just some of the best cinema I have seen this year. It's my favorite opening of any movie. Actually, Last Black Man in San Francisco had a great opening. In terms of just how to start out a movie and immediately hook you, this movie does that in a phenomenal way. So if you're even thinking about where you should see this movie and it's on Netflix, then watch the first 5 minutes and you will be decided.
Baumbach knows that to pull you into an emotional story, you need to connect with the characters first. And that's what he does in this opening scene. And you connect with them because they're just entirely real. It's not like the way that other films do it, where the character has a specific trait that you discover. It's just that they're fully formed human beings, and their relationship with each other is as deep as relationships get in life. It's hard to watch how people deal with separating. The emotional complications that come with that are beautifully conveyed by the actors.
I also want to say, just in terms of good writing and just great acting, directing, the fight scene in this movie, you kind of know, you can tell that there's one coming that's been building. The way that it actually comes about is astonishing. It is so real and fiery. I'm mystified actually as to how they pulled that off.
It's a high wire act to pull off something like that, because getting that emotional in a film that's so real has a big risk of taking the audience out of the movie.
Or just seeming fake or forced. That's the main thing, is like it could have seemed forced and it just didn't.
Right. Everything in this movie is working together. The factory wheels are spinning, and they have created what I think is a masterpiece. Every element working in synergy to keep you engrossed from start to finish. My goodness, was this an emotional ride. In the trailer, Adam Driver comes out of a movie with his son, and his son says, "I cried 4 times." Adam Driver says, "I cried 4 times too," and I cried 4 times.
If I had like one like micro complaint, it would be that I was looking for some levity. Like I wanted to see these characters more in love and like get to know their marriage more. I wouldn't say like that's a flaw with the movie, because that is just a different movie. It just didn't choose to tell its story with flashbacks as another movie might have. Just to get more of a sense of how they were like in love. You get a sense of that in the beginning, and then it doesn't come back, and I like the beginning like almost more than the rest of the movie, but the beginning was so good. I am not complaining a bit about the rest of the movie. Like, I would literally watch this movie again just to...
I'm going to watch it again.
Experience it and to discover all the nuances that can't all be seen in one viewing of the movie.
For me, it was like the actors had such a deep chemistry. The extent of their relationship was explained just with them in the room with each other. In the way that people say, you don't know something until it's gone. I think that's why this movie is called Marriage Story. Through this divorce, you see what they had. So I think it's almost purposeful in not exploring the past, because
I agree. I think it's a good choice. Like, I'm just telling you, like, how I experienced it, but I do think it's the right choice still.
Also, something that people say that is so cliche is that it's the little things in life that matter. It's a total cliche, but in this movie you feel that in a whole new way. The little things are put on display in such a beautiful way that you could actually come out of this movie and appreciate little things in life more. It gives you all these little details, but it makes a point about them, and towards the last third of the movie you understand it in a new way. It's an ambitious movie. It almost feels like an epic. The scope is pretty large. I wasn't even expecting that. I mean, there's a scene where Adam Driver is singing. You may have heard that Adam Driver sings in this movie. It is not like, ha, oh, Adam, like he's singing. It's like, oh, fuck this scene. Oh my god.
The movie is a roller coaster. It's just phenomenal. We didn't even talk about the performances yet.
Adam Driver is the star of the show. Scarlett Johansson, also amazing. Adam Driver, a little bit more the protagonist.
Yeah, it sort of becomes his movie, like, third of the way in, whereas before it was, like, Scarlett Johansson's movie. He has more to lose. There's more at stake for him. The movie takes more of his perspective, just a little bit, but they're both unequivocally leads. They both have scenes where they're, like, brilliant and amazing. You're incredible. Like in awe at how present and natural they can be in these long, pivotal scenes where they have to go through like so many emotions just in like one monologue. I mean, astounding work from both of them. If each won an Oscar for this movie, I would be incredibly happy.
Baumbach and the two leads are giving their souls to this movie. Scarlett Johansson has a monologue. A monologue-ass monologue. It's incredible. She's going through memories, but she's doing it in a way that's so absorbing. There are scenes where actors are just saying memories, and it's like, great, you're just explaining things, but the way that she's present and saying it in the moment is incredible.
Adam Driver goes through like a lot of emotions in the movie. The two leads were just entirely believable, and the whole movie is about believability. We're completely convincing, like in literally like every moment. I kind of hope this marks like a new wave for Baumbach. This movie makes him look like the greatest filmmaker of naturalistic movies, and possibly like the greatest screenwriter. Like you're watching the movie, you're like, whoa, like absolute master.
It's astonishing how well he's able to tap into these characters and know them inside out. And you feel like the same applies to all the little supporting performances too, which is just incredible. Laura Dern, she plays more of a character than the two leads. It is not distracting. She's hilarious, actually.
What I thought was impressive about this performance is the second she's on screen, you like know what she's about.
Yeah. And everyone's laughing. They're like, oh, that person.
It immediately worked. It was a great supporting performance. I mean, she should get an Oscar nomination for this performance. I don't think it's something she needs to win for, but she is sort of scene stealing. She has a monologue, and I think she could win for it, just also because she's Laura Dern and has been winning like Emmys, and
she's so snappy. She completely brings the most to this character that you could possibly expect.
When you're watching her, you're just like, oh, like she's giving you like what you want. It's very entertaining. Look forward to the treat that is her performance in this movie.
She wouldn't win in like any year. Like if you had Monique or something competing against her, she wouldn't win. But this year, I don't see anyone like beating her. You have Alda, who plays the more gentle lawyer in contrast to Ray Liotta's very like business lawyer.
It took me a while to realize what an amazing performance this was, because I took the character as like so real that I was like, yeah, that's, that's a guy.
Just a guy.
That is a guy, like I know what he stands for. Then I'm like, wait, that's like a brilliant performance. Like, and then there's this one scene where he's absolutely hilarious. This is a treat as well, you're getting a cupcake with Laura Dern, cannoli with Ray Liotta. Alan Alda is light tiramisu, I would say.
Looks like he's being completely effortless, but in order to be this good, he's not just on autopilot. Ray Liotta is also great in the film.
Nails it perfectly. The mother of Scarlett Johansson in the movie, another performance that's really memorable. The fact that I can name 4 supporting performances that were all impactful and memorable characters. I can't think of another movie this year that I can do that with.
Let me name 2 more.
Oh my goodness.
The sister.
The sister, yeah.
And the kid. As a kid actor...
He was a good kid actor. I mean, it wasn't like, Daddy, when are you getting a divorce? Like,
to blend in with these other great actors, like, that's a testament to him.
I didn't understand if he was supposed to be like 4, though, because he seemed like he was,
Because he was barely,
like 9.
he could barely read.
So they casted him a little high.
Yeah, for that reason, I'm going to give the movie a 9 and not a 10. In conclusion, SAG Ensemble. Dear God, please can it win.
I hope it wins.
Please can it win.
I don't need Hollywood or Irishman to win. I need this movie to win.
Easily the best acted movie I'm going to see all year.
The Oscar nominations. Best Picture, absolutely. We both hope it wins right now. Looking at the category
I need it to
right
win.
now,
I need it to win.
We want it to win.
Last year, as you might know, I wasn't head over heels for Roma as others were. I wasn't head over heels for that many of the films last year. This year, I am invested. I need Marriage Story to win Best Picture.
So I think it could do it. It's a movie about divorce, which is very important, and it will get people talking.
Kramer vs. Kramer.
It's a memorable movie, extremely well acted, with like multiple nominations for the actors. It's winning Screenplay, and if it doesn't win Screenplay, I will throw up. I will literally throw up.
Director's obvious. It's definitely getting director.
I really hope it gets
Baumbach directed the shit out of it. There are some ambitious moments. There are other moments where he just really tries to focus on the actors, but all of it is he directed the shit out of it. Adam Driver in the winning conversation. Scarlett Johansson in the winning conversation. Laura Dern in the winning conversation. Editing. Hell yes.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the score, Cole.
And score.
Randy Newman's score is fantastic. It really did transform some of the scenes in the movie. It's kind of needed in a movie that is so difficult and anxiety-provoking. To kind of be the music that celebrates the marriage, I guess is like what the role was. It was more like for the nostalgia, the wistfulness. What's the count right now? Is that 8?
That's an easy 8. It will not get snubbed for any of those.
God willing.
It's a lock for all of us.
Cinematography, I think, is like maybe possible, but probably not.
I thought the cinematography was great. It completely
it was an
served
upgrade from his previous films where it had more of a grainy film look to it,
which might appeal to the cinematography snobs.
The camera does like follow the actors around, and it is perfect camera work and such.
It almost also like highlights every room that you're in, even the most bland room.
We commend the cinematographer of The Favorite for his work in this movie. And it would not be undeserving of a nomination, but it just doesn't seem like it's a little big too enough subtle for that.
There's also some buzz for Alan Alda in supporting, but I don't see him up against the massive competition that we have in this category. So let's talk about wins. Like, screenplay, this should be a lock to win.
Like, goodbye, it's winning screenplay. Goodbye.
Actor, I think he's going to beat Phoenix. It's not a guarantee. Did I like him more than Phoenix? I liked the movie more, and Adam Driver's performance did more for me emotionally. Phoenix is great in his own right. I mean, Adam Driver, though, for me, like, would get my vote.
I think they're both, like, neck and neck to be honest with you, Cole.
I think Adam Driver's out front, though.
Joaquin Phoenix is clearly the showier performance, but Adam Driver is, like, doing a lot in the movie, and they both, like, should... You know, they're both deserving of Oscars.
I think
it might come down to what do they connect with more, and not everybody connects with the Joker.
Exactly. But Adam Driver gave the performance of a lifetime, and it would be a shame if they didn't award that. Scarlett Johansson, as well, gives easily one of the performances of her career, and she is up against Renee Zellweger. They are extremely tight. It could go either way. Renee Zellweger might have that edge. Scarlett Johansson is not as much a lead as Adam Driver. And then Renee Zellweger's just, it's a showier performance. And she's also really good. It's hard to beat that kind of performance. And Laura Dern is probably going to win, maybe just for lack of a strong competition. But also, like, I would be happy to see Laura Dern get an Oscar.
Will it win Best Picture? I have it at number 1, but it's a tentative number 1. It's widely appealing. Roma had a problem being not accessible enough, I think. I'm not saying nobody will be bored at Marriage Story, but the chances are just a lot less. And I think the name recognition of the actors, like, I think a lot of people will end up seeing this movie.
Well, it's coming on Netflix, so it's going to have a wide audience.
Yeah.
Netflix is, like, probably going to win Best Picture this year, if not this for The Irishman, which has become one of the frontrunners.
If people are talking about what they think's going to win, they're going to say The Irishman. I think people are, like, slightly underestimating Marriage Story, but it also is, like, kind of a harder pick for them to make, whereas The Irishman is, like, so obvious. It's back to that classic Oscar bait. Critics just unanimously fucking love The Irishman. I hope Marriage Story can pick up a lot of awards with the critics circles. I hope it wins, like, Critics' Choice.
It also has a package to go with it because it's got a supporting actress, a screenplay win, and a best actor win, a best leading actor win.
But now Irishman could win screenplay, possibly editing and picture. And it could win director.
Or maybe supporting actor, honestly.
You're watching the Oscars give their awards. Irishman gets editing. Oh shit, Irishman's winning Best Picture. Irishman gets screenplay. Marriage Story gets screenplay. Oh, Driver gets Best Actor. Oh my goodness. And Scorsese gets director. You're thinking Irishman.
No.
Irishman's maybe winning. What's gonna happen? But I see Irishman taking the Golden Globe for Best Drama.
I do too. I see Marriage Story taking Critics' Choice. Could go back and forth a little bit, and then maybe JoJo wins something.
I hope it's like a ping pong rather than Irishman.
We do not have a locked-in race, folks, and that is partly what it makes it exciting. I love this film. I will be surprised if it is not my favorite movie of the year. It would have been my favorite movie of the year last year, and it would have been my favorite movie of the year before that.
Wow.
It is one of my favorite films of this decade.
I'm not surprised.
I really love this movie. Kind of can't wait to see it again just to experience it. And I've given some 10s this year, but this is more than that. It's a 10.5. No, I'm just kidding. We can't do that. Folks, this is a 10 out of 10.
It's undoubtedly one of the best of the year. I think it's an easy 10 out of 10.
This is my favorite movie that I've seen in theaters since Arrival. That's
Really?
just like how it is.
It's not my favorite movie of the year because I saw 2 others that I think I personally liked more. Last Black Man in San Francisco, Portrait of a Lady on Fire. This is an amazing year for movies for me. You might think I'm being easy on 10s because I've given like 10 out of 10 to like every movie that I've seen in like the past few weeks. That's just genuinely how I feel about these movies. I like so many of the movies this year.
Well, hopefully we'll get many more 10s to come, Justin.
Oh, that's, obviously what I hope for.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. You're gonna see this movie.
Are you headed for a divorce?